Right, guys, and welcome to the what I would like to call as the end of the year cast, perhaps. So this will be like a marathon of making some series of casting for the last year, the stake of this year. So right now we're on Fire Island between two players that I really don't know a lot about them. The one is on top, Light Blue Allies. This is Worston 555. Yep, 550. And on bottom we have Atomic, playing as the Yellow Empire. The thing is, on this map, playing as an Empire is something, better than perhaps playing as Soviets, because after all, this map gives a huge advantage for any kind of air units. On the meantime, Empire can always swarm around, lots of infantry to counter some early airplay. If your opponent does not rush for a cryocopter, that's an entirely different story. But anyway, we see our players are now moving to each other. Not moving really. We see a quick airbase. I think at this point, Warston will be foregoing his oil derricks. Two of the oil derricks are under the vicinity of the atomic. In the meantime, we see the first Vindicator, not Apollo. In the meantime, Mecha Bay is getting deployed. That's actually nice, not building engineer immediately for this one, but I think this one gets captured very easily, safe and sound. Uh-oh. Speaking of the cryocopters, but where's your Apollo? You definitely need an Apollo. You must have an Apollo. Without an Apollo, that's not going to work. And it's going to take them too long for just one single. And yeah, Apollo has arrived. Now one collector is down, unfortunately, for Atomic, completely unprepared for the situation is coming down. Cryocopter is taking some damage. If Tengu micro, that would be a little bit better, but this Cryocopter survives. But nevertheless, the other Tengu is almost there thanks to two oil derricks. Now it's shrunk.
They need to be taught a lesson.
Is it going? What? I think this Tengu just committed seppuku. I don't see the last hit dealing to the Polo. We have a sizable infantry here doing absolutely nothing. And I don't even want to know how did this game last for like, if I remember correctly, this replay should take around 20 minutes, but this is game. This is over, this should be over, this cryocopter should freeze it. Well, at least not any longer. That's a very interesting positioning for the construction yard. Why would you just take a detour all over here? You could actually go over here, and this infantry could do nothing. Thankfully, we still have two oil derricks. This is the importance of the oil derricks, by the way. Without oil derricks, Atomic could not even survive. And the problem is, I think you should consider moving this prospector and deploy it to command hub and upgrade it to get a second cryocopter. The damage has been done, and I think that's not that bad. If he didn't lose the cryocopter, this should be the game already. But nevertheless, now is point for Atomic to recover. But I don't think you can recover these things. That's not going to happen any soon enough. Now NCV is back on the base. I think it can consider building a power plant over here. Wait, how did you spot this? Well, that's very nice for him. He spotted the
Make a tango, let's go!
This very effort-taking. But now Atomic is a bit careless with his Imperial Warriors, and now Prospector is just mowing them.
Make a tango, let's go!
Whatever you're going to do, do not lose those Imperial Warriors. That's something. And I think deploying this would be much more better. Now we lost the Collector. And where are your Vindicators? Okay, you have only one Vindicator. That's something. Now, we see some Tengus. Unlike for the most of the time, they are on the ground. Okay, two Tengus are on the fly. So that's nice. You can easily come over down there and do some harassment run. Now, this refinery is on the verge of destruction. So, you took all of these routes. From moving from here We're all here to lose this refinery that mine maybe 10 runs. I mean, lesser than 10 runs, I guess. Let me see, 5 runs. So that's actually the exact amount for a refinery. Or maybe 500 more. Now, Western going for some infantry and a peacekeepers. That's nice, but against these Imperial warriors, that should be, I mean, very good because there's no Dojo Core, but there are Tengus, and there's only one Vindicator. And that's something. Also, some bad bomb micro happening down there. 3 bombs are more than enough. I mean, 2 bombs should be enough. On the meantime, I think Warston should better off dealing these oil derricks. These are providing a huge income for our player. What's the deal with every player try to get the furthest expansion point? Hello, we have here. I mean, these are much more easy to access. And now air superiority is out of question, I suppose, because we don't see any cryocopters anymore. There are only 3 Apollos, but that should be enough. Now, on the other hand, these peacekeepers are enough as well. I mean, these Imperial warriors can now only run around. Maybe they can get a bit resupplied with some fresh Imperial warriors, but this is actually a nice move. I mean, Atomic is trying to buy some time because if these Imperial warriors enter to his base, that could be a lot of trouble for him. But now Atomic is actually dragging them and gaining some time. And finally, some respect to the oil derrick, and Burston captures the oil derrick. Now, one Imperial Warrior charges the Banzai's charge, but I mean, that's just too many Peacekeepers. No matter how much fanaticism you can only just get, I mean, holes in your own body. Now, all of these Peacekeepers go into the shield mode, but I mean, just one Tango should be more than enough to everything you want to do. Because this injury has a terrible rally point, but now Watson realized that what's going on and now going for this oil derrick. On the meantime, if Atomic destroys this oil derrick, that would be a lot of, I mean, that would be fantastic for him. And this, I wonder if Watson going to suspect this anytime soon. Like, I did this, so why wouldn't my opponent wouldn't do? And now he takes the 3rd refinery, and the 4th is also running as well. I mean, at this point, the Watson should be good to go. I mean, he has a solid economy now. Now this though, Peacekeeper now engaging with so many hostiles here, but I don't think that will work any soon enough for your attack dog to land a good, nice bar. And Atomic is not just giving a focus fire on them. That, ooh! No, 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 no! 2 cryocopters. Now that's fat. But now we get to see Defender Rex. That's actually nice because he has, I mean, Watson has only one Vindicator. He runs this Cryocopter looming threat, the 3 Apollo to 1 Vindicator. You, without Cryocopter, you need 2 Vindicators to take down this Defender Rex. So you definitely need one more Vindicator. So now point defense on his own, but I think it's a bit prematurely used. You could also get this Tengu and this influence. Now Defender reacts, taking some shots on this and actually landing some nice damage. Half of the damage has been dealt. This is nice. This would be giving some more needed and valuable time for the Atomic. But now I think this is a good time to be defensive. I mean, not going for attacking position against this double airfield allies play, but now Tengus are engaging and one Apollo just gets shredded in midair. And speaking of them, oh, he's hiding his cryocopters, and that's actually a very nice move. Now, Atomic is trying to locate and find any kind of aerial units. In the meantime, he also lands his Tengus, flying on top of his base. Now, 2 Apollos are arriving for the reinforcements run. Now, these Tengus will land all around these units and buildings, so the Apollos and the buildings are going to take damage. I mean, this is a double-edged sword. These Tengus can actually destroy this airfield just by standing over there, but now losing all of the Tengus is another bad story. You should definitely do this. Now, this indicator almost gets destroyed. This Cryocopter gets in the way.
Let's get out of here!
Shrinking to frozen Tengus. Now, this is actually a nice point attack. I mean, with this explosive damage, I think this airfield can go down. And also, I don't to attack this peacekeeper for real. I mean, going for this is a too... if the Tengu count is reset, this is over. I don't think there is no absolutely possible way for Atomic to recover from this. Ooh! That's what I was talking about. Okay, airfield is down, but that's not going to work for anything. Also, this engineer, come on, Atomic, Gyrocopters. Oh, split second. I mean, his hand is up like, hey, I'm going to take your building right away. Now, also three cryocopters. I mean, you will definitely need a lot of anti-air for this. I mean, VX is not going to work, that's for sure. Now, Apollo count goes for the 4, and all of this space is now under threat. And our Mecha Bay is still tier... Is this tier 1 or tier 2? I think it's tier 1. But the light is also 700
Guardian
cash.
tank. Make a tango. Let's go.
Okay, this is
I
tier 1
serve the
still.
Emperor.
And both of our players are very lenient on spending their cash. Also, this Guardian tank is more than enough to bring death and havoc to the base of Atomic. And Apollo spots this refiner, which is nice, but this, I mean, this ore mine has already paid a lot. I mean, it did its job. That should be more than enough. Now, Guardian tank is approaching, and these Tengus going for a new harassment run. I mean, fine. Take down the power plants. That's all you need right now. Do not. Why would you go for just one single multi-gun turret? Also, which one? Okay, this one. That can also take some nice hefty damage. A very nice move. The moving next to the multi-gun turret to take it down. Now, Collector is down. Now, it's time to bolt. Time to bolt. Ah, okay, you're not going to. Okay, 2
Gotta go.
Immediately taken down. Go and ask yourself this. I mean, losing 5 Tengus just for one single collector. How wise is that? And also, right, you have some tank clusters, but your opponent has 3 cryocopters, and he can make more. And my way of speaking, this madman actually made 2 more cryocopters, so if you can micromanage them, that's nice, but if you can... Okay. I think there is a new meta in Fire Island is going around. So going for, instead of skipping these, because obviously my opponent can expect this is going to happen, you're going to go for this and expect your opponent not on this. And also this Defender reacts is actually dealing some free damage to do all of these units here, and Cryoblast has been used, and oh no. But there is no land unit here, so that should be fine. Where are the Tengus? Instead you're getting Striker reactions, that's nice. This called the Ore Collector is making the fight for the Union. Union have to work this way. Massive destruction happening here. This Guardian tank is going to... I mean, he also took all the tank busters except leaving Watson. At this point, Watson is just playing the SimCity game. I mean, his economy is up and running. I mean, he has 4 refineries, and he's just building cryocopters. At this point, anything on the nanos and javelin should work. Some Tengu runs, but again, I mean, our guy is not doing this in the best way manner. And also, when you're going to make some tank busters, if only you could accompany them with these VXs, that should be much better. But now, he has 5 cryocopters, and there's nothing stopping him to build more. So, I mean, at this point, you may consider going for double Mecha Bay. Also very nice to like Defender reacts here and just froze it immediately. Now this oil derrick is going to be frosted as well. This Imperial Warrior is just making the run and enjoying his last moments. Come on, this is a nice spot to die, to be honest. I mean, in front of the sea. Now Larson, instead of sending his entire infantry division, just sends some of them. In the meantime, he is searching for a nice fat oil mines, but I forget. Now, if only he had some tankers, he could just engage over here and snipe some of them. Now, big fat land army is approaching, and fortunately, Atomic has nothing. He has, okay, he has, oh, wait a second. Where are the Apollos are way too far, and now these Guardian tanks are just taking 3 damage. 3, 4 of them already gets destroyed. Now Apollos have arrived. Shredding is happening. The penguins are now taking the damage all around. Now there are only all of them are shrank now, and Cryo Blast has been used, but that's a bit detrimental. I think at this point you should consider landing all of your chopper VXs. I mean, there's absolutely no, that's not how you engage with your striker VXs. I think let's go back to this. Not any question move are happening around it, but now all of these crabhoppers are completely unhinged, and this veteran chopper VX, why did you? Oh no. Okay, so comeback is happening actually. These crabhoppers are now taking fat damage from all of the Tengus, and now Tengus are making some, outplayed and outmaneuvered by crabhoppers, but that's not enough. Tengu just lands very next to the multi-gunner IFB and takes it down with him. I mean, that's something. That's what you get when you just do not micromanage your units. I probably believe he just QA move. I mean, I'm speaking on Varsity, by the way. Just made a QA move and said, like, okay, probably I win this one, no problem with it. But now he forget the VXs. He didn't shrink them, all of them. He had 5 of them. He lost one of them in beginning of the combat. Then he lost a lot. On the loss count, one veteran level, star rank Vindicator takes his own share from destruction. Now, harassment, not that bad, but come on, he is. I think this guy should tank like 10,000.
Let's run some field tests.
3,000. Okay. Now, all of these Tengus are going to be frost, soon enough. But there is absolutely nothing on the land to deal the damage, not alone a Vindicator. And this Tengu is actually running away. This is the low HP one. The others. Oh no, the star rank one. Come on, just
Get that guy!
Finally. Now this Riptide instantaneously goes. Ooh! Be careful with that. Okay, this Tengu is actually dealing some damage to Crabcopter, so if he's going to make it, that's going to be very nice. And you still have a split second sniping. Like this Tengu's. Some insane trades are happening here. The guy couldn't do it with the multiple Tengus, but then managed to pull it off with one Tengu. And now this is the very moment to see the balloon bomb actually having some use, taking down both power plant and the refinery. A nice blow to the opponent. Same can be applied over here as well, but balloon bombs? For real?
Make a tango, let's go!
Emperor's Rage is always much better. And why did you get this fortified fleet? Just go for advanced rocket pods. Your VXs will be much better with that. And if by any chance, if Apollo's stuck in one place, Striker VX rockets with advanced rocket pods, just demolish them, destroy them immediately. Also, Atomic can actually... Oh no. Oh no. Once again, this refinery. This refinery is doing a lot of God's work. That's what I have to say. Okay, instead of handling this refinery, I think he wants to end the game. Now these people are in, and
Who do they think they are?
Cryogather is actually
Give us a
very
good
nasty then, but now these VXs, if they are safe, that's nice. Interestingly enough, no units are harmed under this Cryogather. That's something. Now 2 tsunami tanks. That's way too small. Small tanks are engaging with these Apollos, but that's not going to work. Cycle VX should need some space, but now all of these... This is the last Apollo. Now Apollos are down. You can go actually snap all of these Cryocopters with your Tengus. Nah, that's a terrible mistake. Come on. And also this Defender VX can actually work a little bit better. Once again, this is the dangers of QA move. And these Cryocopters survive. And this refiner survives as well. But Boston, that's nice. Once again, he's building his refinery again. Now he seems like, if my opponent does it, why shouldn't I do? Now just a little handful force. I wonder what is he going to pull out. This is a very fat allies base, and he has a solid income. Do not lose your star rank, Tiger, please. Uh-oh. Almost. And also, I think this is a very good moment for Watson to go for tier 3. I mean, why are you still lingering around?
Show your valor!
Uh-oh. Whatever you do, do not lose this star rank 3x. That's all I can say to you. Wonder what is the economy of Atomic. I mean, it's not that bad, but I definitely he can use the Dojo Core. I mean, some tank masters can do a lot of work for him against these Guardian tanks instead of like micromanaging and doing some shenanigans with the VXs. So meanwhile, the both of our players are in a building session. So guys, a couple days ago I was reading something, and one guy they were talking about the strategy games and the current state of the strategy games in this new era. And we all, I guess, acknowledge that it's like its own shadow form of self. I mean, it's not like the glorious years of the 2000s where people just pop up random RTS games and we had incredible amount of options around. I mean, good days are over, that's for sure. But anyway, one player just said this was because of the MOBA games. I mean, MOBA games entirely stole the audience of RTS games. So that's actually an interesting way to address the situation because, yeah, surely I played MOBA as well. For example, I played Dota for a very long time. I played League of Legends for a couple
Show
of
your valor!
months. I mean, I really don't like. I mean, for example, I started with Dota and then I played League of Legends, but not that much. It was a terrible micromanagement from Watson. I mean, he is letting loose his 300 firefocus. Now, if only VXs arrive here, they can get their second veterancy. Anyway, a multi-gunner turret is being built, more than enough for everything this space can provide. Anyway, so I played the Dota, but of course, this maybe I played like continuously for 10 years perhaps, but then eventually I got bored. But during this time, I played some of the strategy games as well. But the question was, would I play Dota if there were a very nice, solid RTS game and like an RTS game that matches the current, for example, era and needs? When it comes to RTS games, for example, we get to access to few of things very late, and some of the games don't even still have them. Like for example, we don't have a reconnect function in most of the strategy games, even if they're released today. And that's something. Meanwhile, all of these MOBA games have maybe, I mean, working or not working doesn't really matter at this point, but at least they have a reconnect function. So even for example, the replay, watching replay and UI of the replay are very different in MOBA games. Meanwhile, they are, I mean, somehow functioning. For example, RTS games. For example, let's speak about the Riddler 3. I'm happy because it has a very simple, very normal replay
Let's get out of here!
viewer, which is actually nice. But I mean, how many of the strategy games or RTS games we had that proper functioning? Also, balloon bombs again. It's all of the jealous applications. How working that was.
Gotta go!
I guess I want to. I mean, what do you believe? For example, are there any genres that prevented the booming of the RTS games? And I also blame partially for the RTS games as well. For example, I don't know if you are a big fan of it, but I was following Petroglyph studios a bit. And if you don't know Petroglyph, I think some people from the Command and Conquer were there working. And they released some interesting strategy games. I mean, some of them had some base building aspects, some of them just like Company of Heroes style. And I mean, it was wacky. It had some novelty effect. Um, what was the game? A Battle Battalion or Mechanized Command or something like that. For example, it was very odd game where you had to like hold some points for launching a nuke to your opponent, and that's a little bit unstoppable, especially for the mobile strategy games. I maybe like it or hate it, I don't know. For example, I played that most recent Command and Conquer mobile game, and it was an experience, I can say. You may ask, like, how can you do some microtransactions in strategy games without adding any cosmetics? That's an interesting question because you can't. I mean, they didn't, at least. That's what I can say. Also, Rustin, Can you invest a multi-gunner trait in here? Just for real. Also, stop building your power plants in just way to make him, I mean, validate the point of getting balloon bombs. This is embarrassing. For example, and come to think of it, Dune
Let's get out of
2000
here!
didn't even have a proper observer function. Didn't have proper team settings. For example, I remember, if I can remember his name, I think Shao Kahn. He is still Dune 2000 player and still plays today. And he plays originally.
I felt that!
I don't think he's playing the open red alert version, open RA version of it. And you have to arrange teams with the diplomacy
Who do
option
they
in the
think they
game.
are?
You can set preset teams in the game. And we're speaking about the Dune. I mean, the father of, known father of maybe many fathers, one of the many fathers of the RTS games. But never did any. So thinking of like maybe one scene stealing the other one, maybe reasonable at a point. But I don't think, for example, there were so many new games came into play, and strategy games.
Get out, get out!
I mean, supplemental strategy games were is not very surprising. I mean, the breaking point for me was that Tiberium game. Was that Tiberium Twilight or something? A very stupid game. And it's actually it was like a maybe a mobile game or something, and it had a very stupid plot. I don't know if you guys played, but I played that game and it was very terrible. If I remember correctly, there was wife. It's supposed to be your wife. I imagine that there is an imaginary woman and you are suffering the nagging of this woman. Like, oh, darling, be safe. And you're sitting in your house with your pajamas and with a coffee in your hand and say, yeah, okay, whatever, it's just skip the cutscene. And I was like, what's the point of this? Is there anyone in this world asked for this to happen? Like, for example, let's go back to Red Dead 3. I remember this for the most of the trailers of the Red Dead 3, they were saying like, okay, we have some curry and some very hot chicks around the game. Hey, you know the wife, you know the girlfriend, the wife of the Jason Statham. Yeah, she is the Eva of the Allies. And I was like,
I'll need assistance!
yeah, whatever, I don't care, but what about the gameplay, man? What are we going to see in the game? I don't care about the cast. I don't care about your whatever you hired for the game or anything like that. Just tell me about the game, and they say, no, we have some others. We have the guy who played the J. Jonah Jameson as the President Ackerman. I don't care, just what about the game? And they say, no, shut up. This is what you want, this is a strategy game, and this is what you're going to enjoy. Why? Why would you flesh... I mean, these people, by the way, were skilled actors, and probably they're not doing this for favor. They want to be paid, and I'm sure they paid really reasonable amounts. That's something else. But come to think of it, I mean, why would you do this? In Red Dead 2, we had, I don't think we had any kind of famous faces, but it's one of the most loved game. In Red Dead 1, we had even worse than that. We have a Stavros who's crying in all of the cutscenes and can't even digest losing the Greece to the Soviets. But again, it was played a lot. So I don't know what, I mean, someone in the studios came up with this idea. But what's even worse, that idea was approved. And better yet, it was funded. Anyway, so I would like to hear you guys. I mean, what was the main reason of the downfall of the RTS? I mean, I would like to hear your opinion as well. And back to the game. You guys see just a bit misclicks and misplay of the boss, but eventually having some economical advantage. I mean, just a very fat 50,000 50,000 economical difference. No, not 50,000, I guess. No, yeah, it's 50,000 anyway. 1,000 economical advantage and just moving a QA and cryo get them in the game. So GG for the both of our players, and hopefully you like the content and enjoy the feel free to leave a like or comment. I'm awaiting your answer as well, so hopefully we can discuss it. And consider subscribing. Until then, take care.